Hello, welcome back. Is another episode of my safari. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for hanging around, watching my videos, and for you being here the first time. I really truly appreciate it. And please follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Let's dive in. Today we are going to talk about the challenges of parenthood. Challenges of being a parent. Yes. So, diving in, I will say that for me, challenge number one is do you share goals pertaining children with your partner, with another parent? Are your goals aligning? What you want for a child, is it the same thing your other parent wants? Being an African, I remember seeing a child get pregnant and the mother being kicked out of the house with the daughter who is pregnant. It's very common. Being raised those years, you see your mother say, "Be careful because I do not want to lose my marriage for your foolishness." So you can tell the marriages of your mom is connected to your mishaps of younghood, I might say, which is a topic of its own. So I will not go there. But that's one. Number two, assessing each other's intention is important. I realize that in challenges that you're going to succumb to as parents, if you do not see each other's intentions and you do not become open what your intentions are, and maybe you can discuss the methods to um, of how to navigate through your ways of parenting. It can be really chaos. There are people I happen to talk to, and sometimes, especially African men, I've come across friends work with who sometimes they can tell you, "Oh, I mean, you women, you are sometimes the reason these kids misbehave," and you wonder what kind of mother would ever want her child to misbehave. But I come to realize the most issue is not who caused children to misbehave, because I don't believe I'll go through 9 months of pregnancy so that my kid can be a worse character of self. I don't think so. I think what's the problem is the methods one parent wants to use to discipline a child is not aligning with the belief of the other parent. That is my best assessment, I think. Because I believe that if both of you know that our intention is our child to be A, B, C, D at certain age, and this is how we're gonna go through, there is no way you will see it the same. There is no chance, because it's two people who were parented by different people who have some of you, maybe one or both of you have your own wounds of childhood that you never healed, and then you have to sit and you have to be in the same home bringing four different parts of your own or even more, because like back home there are children who were born and raised by their parents and then move and come being raised by uncle. So there is mother and father, uncle and the aunt. All these are four people. Four people have raised one person, and they give one person different views of being a parent. And then they come to get married with someone who was raised maybe with mom and father and a home that is not chaotic. So this person believe that as a parent you have to use gentle measures unless necessary, and this one believe that a child has to be yelled at to understand, has to be beaten badly to understand. That's already a challenge right there. How do you come to the middle? Unless one of you or both of you go through, travel back to where you're coming from and heal those wounds that you have gone through. And most of us will tell you, "No, no, I don't have a wound." I mean, people will always fight science, but realistically is, yes, you might have a wound, and those wounds are what make you think that if your child go to the friend and don't have a ride home and stuck there in the middle of night, it's okay not to go pick her up so she can learn the lesson, or he can learn the lesson. That is a wound right there. Because as a child, as a parent, you're supposed to be protected. And now here is a child being exposed to any type of danger, and you're sitting aside because it's a punishment. So that's why this subject is very hard, because most of the time when you talk about it, you have to realize other people will get sensitive or will get offended by things that are not. But I think, to me, there is no point. If you feel defensive or you feel like you're offended, I think that's where we have to start. The question is, why do I feel offended? Why do I feel defensive? So that's okay. Number two, number three, is it okay to correct one another in front of children? No, 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 no. My childhood, I remember, I have never, ever, ever seen my parents arguing about us in front of us. Never. If I will know they argue about us, I will know from pretty much mother, as we always know. She's the one who will come maybe out and share what happened. But the real sense, I don't know how that is like when two parents are arguing about the punishment, the discipline, or whichever part of being about us in front of us. That's never happened. So I learned that is very important, because guess what? No matter what my mother can tell me when she's angry, and maybe my dad was upset about one of us doing something, she come to me and she will lash out and she will say, oh, now you see your father is upset at me, blah blah blah. But me not seeing that moment make me see her as who she's telling me. But never affected me or my siblings in that manner. So as a child, as a parent myself, I realized that we're not perfect. Sometimes, my child will do something and her father will be upset at her. But if I correct him there, number one, I show the child that I do not trust his judgment. Number two, I disrespect him in front of his children. And number three, I am telling the child that next time, whatever that is happening, I am the best in this. Okay. And do I really want my child to be confused as such? No. So I think most of the time is, if you yell at each other and shout at each other because in front of your children, I will encourage you to go back and find out where that come from. It is more likely that there is some sort of unhealed wounds or trauma inside yourself that you're not aware of, because there is no other way you can explain a parent put a child in a mental emotional distress simply because they don't care. That's not. We all care so much about our children. So far, that's what I always believe. A parent care about their child. And if you happen not to care, then there is something bigger than that. And I will encourage you, seek help. There is so many books. I have healed a lot of wounds of my own using self-help books. They're everywhere. And lastly, I can talk about, can you be friends to your child? I believe yes, you can. I believe your child can find a friend in you, but at the same time, a child has to understand there is boundaries in that friendship. So I do believe that. I believe that I am supposed to be the safest place my kids have to come to. And when they overstep the boundary of me being a mother or me being a parent, that's when I'm going to address that. No, I am your friend, but no relationship lack boundaries. Every relationship have boundary, and this is a boundary you are crossing. So that is the key point too. And lastly, the most one big challenge that I can see a lot of us going through is how to react to what our children tells us. This modern life and modern culture is different with how we were raised. If a child tells you something and that child realizes that you are judgmental, critical, even if it's issue for her friends or herself, these children have a way to shut everything down and never bring you to their world and never bring you to that side of theirs. And you know why? For us, it maybe was harder, but for them it's easy because they have friends, they have internet, they can find somewhere else that they can pour those things to, and you'll never know. So you live with a child, you think you know, my child has never been kissed, while your child has been kissed multiple times. Maybe even the child has never had sex and the child had sex. And maybe even worse than things, that the child never smoke, the child never drink. And all these things, we, all of us, are totally innocent in our mind to think that we can look at a child and tell which one of the things that I have mentioned they have already get hooked on or exposed to. We can't. We can think we can, but we can't. So the most important thing is just to encourage a child that just come to me, let's talk. I don't care what kind of mistake you did. I don't care what you're thinking to do. Whatever that is there out there that you have been debating of doing, give me a chance to have a say, or at least ears to listen to, and then move from there. And sometimes we have to, especially as Africans, when we talk, when we listen, our eyes come out, our face, we have a way to do. So a child gets scared because maybe we change our facial expression and they pull back, they give you a little bit. And we just have to be aware of all that. Until the next time, I really truly enjoy being here and you being here with me and opening yourself to listen to things that I am sharing. Till then, ciao.